My number 7 pick
Yep.
is part 5, New Beginning.
Here it is. This is the one that I was like, we're gonna debate about this one, but maybe not. You don't have it as low as I thought you're gonna have it. This is my number 4.
Ooh, that's like in the.
This is in the top.
The top band.
It's in the top. Yeah, it's in the top. Yeah. Okay, so this is the one that shocked me. Remember I said at the beginning, I was like, there's one that shocked me how much I liked it. It was part 5. Because I rewatched them all. I couldn't believe how much I liked part 5.
Yeah.
It is if you had just asked me to make this list, part 5 would have probably been 7, maybe 8. Like in my mind, I would have been like, it's not as good as New Blood. I don't even know. Honestly, it shocked me how much I hated part 8. Like upon rewatching, I'm like, fuck, this movie sucks. Part 5, it's got a lot going for it that I like, but I'm going to put an asterisk here. If you hate this movie, I understand. Like, I totally get it. Why I love it is not why most people, I understand why other people would hate it for the same reasons. Without a doubt, part 5 is the Halloween 3 of the franchise. It is. No, it is. Yep. It is the Halloween 3, notoriously, no Michael Myers, hated for years.
Right.
Enough time has passed. We've had many, many shittier films since. All of a sudden, we look back. Now part 3 is beloved.
You can look at it on its own terms. Yeah.
Outside the context of the time where people were just like, oh, no Michael Myers and hated on it. Now people love part 3. Part 3 is now a beloved entry in that series because you can do so much worse. Mm-hmm. I feel the exact same way about part 5.
Yeah.
I think I know it was not liked for its time. It was hated. That's why the second one immediately similar to part 4 in the Halloween franchise, they said the return of Michael Myers. Part 6 in the Friday the 13th is Jason Lives. They immediately were like, no, don't worry, Jason's coming back. Watching it again on its own merits, it is such a fucking fun movie.
I will give them credit for the fact that they tried something different.
Yeah.
Right? Did it land? Obviously not.
You had it at what, 7?
So I have that. You had
I have it at 4.
Okay, wow.
I have it in my top.
So I have part 5, New Beginning at number 7.
7, yeah. So it's not that far off. Yeah. You have it as more of a middle. I have it as more of a top.
Still bottom half.
Yeah.
Yep.
So basic premise for part 5 is it is the Friday the 13th movie without Jason.
Right.
The Jason in the movie is not Jason, is a copycat killer, a paramedic named Roy Burns, who, after seeing his lost child that he didn't really acknowledge get murdered, he goes berserk and just starts killing everybody in this one area. That's literally it. And he dresses up and he uses the motif of Jason Voorhees to the point where the town starts to get confused. Part 5, we get young adult Tommy Jarvis. It is not the little boy Corey Feldman Tommy Jarvis, although he does make an amazing cameo at the begining. The opening scene is excellent. And then that's basically the movie. Is just it's a I remember I said like there feels like there's different phases. So part 4 to me ushers in the 80s age of Jason. Part 5, I said earlier 7 might be the most 80s. Now that I'm saying it again, I think part 5 is the most 80s of the Friday the 13th films. It is just a cocaine-fueled madness, sex romp. It is insane. Part 5 is insane. Like literally, part 5 is out of its fucking mind and I love it. It is so over the top and nonsensical that I was pissing my pants laughing at how fucking stupid it was. So that's the basic premise. So when every character in this movie is exaggerated to just a ridiculous level, everybody's acting over the top. Everybody's just acting like human beings don't act. Like it's just everything is so stupidly like no one is acting normal in this movie.
Right.
Like it doesn't feel like it exists in any reality, especially not in the Friday the 13th reality where like generally in Friday the 13th, people acted like people, but in part 5, there's just people don't act like normal human beings, you know. The film takes place in a new age, like it's not a mental institution, it's like a treatment home, and young Tommy Jarvis is there for treatment. He's with all these other eccentric characters, and that's our new group of young victims, basically.
Right. Yeah.
And like right off the bat, it's like, okay, so things I liked. The opening scene of Corey Feldman, credit to Corey Feldman for coming back to shoot this. I never knew this. I didn't know they shot that as new footage. I always just assumed that that was a scene they cut from part 4. I was like, oh, maybe that was the dream sequence they cut from part 4. No.
He had gone on and become way too famous to continue on. So he, credit to him.
He did the scene.
Come back and do that.
Yeah, and that scene is awesome.
Yep,
yeah.
good.
And it's great foreshadowing for what would come in the next movie.
Yeah.
I love the intro. It's a fantastic, it's well shot, well filmed. The dream sequence of Corey Feldman as a little boy. He wakes up and he's now young adult young adult Tommy Jarvis. I like the fact that part 5 keeps Tommy Jarvis. They keep that. We suddenly have a through line in the Friday the 13th movies, which constantly just throw out whatever came before them. That's fun. Copycat Jason's fun. I love Roy Burns' design. I like part 5. I like that it's just a simple jumpsuit and the blue mask.
Yeah.
That's clever. It's clever. It's clever that that's a neat idea that it's like they're trying to visually show you. It's show don't tell. So they give you that little clue that it's like, no, this isn't Jason. Something's different. The blue stripes. He's got blue stripes on his mask. Suppose they're red. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me gushing about it.
Yeah.
There's so much I love. I love it was filmed by a guy that filmed pornos. So it's the most sleazy.
So yeah,
it's
I was going to say
sleazy as fuck. But things I like in a Friday the 13th movie. Great Jason. It's got it. TNA. It's got loads of TNA. It's sleazy as fuck. Great kills. This one actually has some of the best kills in the whole franchise.
Yeah.
You got the amazing flare kill where the guy where Jason shoves the fucking flare into the guy's mouth and turns him into a goddamn jack-o'-lantern. It's got one of the most iconic kills, the leather strap across the guy's eyes where he twists it on the tree. It's got the shears to the girl's eyes as well.
Debbie Sue Voorhees.
Great. First film where there's an actor with the last name Voorhees, just randomly. Right. Great kills, fun, over the top, stupid nonsense. I love part 5. I can't believe I slept on part 5.
Yeah.
It is now going to be, I said I only watch a couple every year. Part 5 is going to be one of them now. Love it.
Yeah. From a production value standpoint, they put a lot of great stuff into it. It's just, oh man, it is such a, like in any other movie to have that curveball at the end would probably be a great element. But for this one, I felt cheated a little bit. I felt disappointed that, when you get to the end of it, you're just like, oh, that wasn't Jason. I mean, it's fine. I mean, if in any other movie to have that sort of mystery element, but there was no mystery there. It was almost just like a aha moment at the end. It was like, oh, by the way, it wasn't Jason the whole time. Like,
the funniest thing about that is like it's supposed to be such a, oh my God, it's that guy, but it literally is, who is that guy?
Right. Yeah.
Like, to the point where they actually had the scene after where it gets revealed when they kill Jason that it's Roy Burns, the paramedic. There's literally 2 scenes of him in the film.
Right.
And I'll say this, upon rewatching it again, they try really hard at the beginning to make it clear that it's like there's something off about Roy because his first intro,
his face,
no, not only his face, there's like a music sting when it shows him. It's like, durr, and he's like, like anger, and it lingers for like way too long. That anyone that knows anything about film would be like, okay, that was intentional. But then you just kind of forget about it, and then at the end, it's like, who the fuck is that guy? No. And then they have that scene where the guy's like, his name was Roy Burns, and he had Joey was his son, and the logic of why Roy is just killing everyone makes absolutely no sense.
Like, what was it that drove him to do that?
So,
because, like, I don't.
So his son he had a son that I guess he was like watching over, but he didn't his son like clearly was handicapped. So it's like he let his son go into these group homes, but like he was watching over him, but he never actually played a role in his life.
Right.
And then his son gets butchered for absolutely no reason by another maniac in this group home. This guy named Vic, who just slaughters Joey, the Joey guy, for absolutely no reason.
For no reason at all.
No, for no reason at all. As I said, this movie's nonsense. It's laughably bad. It's so stupid. Slaughters him. Roy then shows up to take the body away, realizes it's his son, snaps, makes a Jason costume complete with a unique hockey mask, and just goes around killing everybody. Literally everybody. This film is so... Oh, I love it. It's so stupid. They introduce characters and immediately kill them. And it does it not once, but multiple times. Characters are introduced and killed in the same scene. It's great.
It's one of those ones where if they had just done it as a straight up Jason movie, it would score so much higher because there's a lot to love in this one.
There's some great kills, great shots.
When you get to the end, you're like, I don't care about this guy.
Right. I know.
It was just such a letdown.
And the logic stretch makes absolutely no sense. Right. Why would he use the motif of Jason? The only thing I could think of was, he was trying to frame Tommy Jarvis, because that's one of the through lines in this movie is they think it's Tommy Jarvis potentially because it's like, who is Jason? It's not actually Jason. And Tommy's having he's having hallucinations of Jason. So you think, well, maybe he's the one actually committing these crimes. That's a neat idea. So I thought, Roy's trying to frame him. But Roy didn't even know who the fuck Tommy Jarvis was. He didn't know any of that shit.
No.
He was just coincidentally picking up the body at that group home. There, you have to throw logic out of the way in this movie, and then you'll love it. Yeah. And so, like, Roy is just killing everybody dressed up as Jason. Why is he dressed up as Jason? Who the fuck knows? Because I guess the town knows who Jason is, so that somehow helps him get away with it. Who are his victims? Absolutely everyone. Seriously, everyone. No one is safe in this fucking movie, except the one person that's safe in this movie is Vic. The person that kills his son never gets his comeuppance. Did you realize that?
Yeah. And why does Vic kill his son in the first place? For really
no reason. He's just crazy.
But he gets
crazy.
Out. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to love about this one. Yeah. Like, it's not at the bottom of the list for me. Yeah. Right. But when you get to the end, what I think the producers felt was going to be like a interesting, cool twist just turns out to kind of fall really hollow. It's like, oh, okay. And I'll be honest, it's one of the ones that I just, despite how great it is from credits to credits, like the meat in the middle, I just don't want to watch it again. I'm like, there's just why put in the time for a movie that doesn't have Jason in it?
Because it's crazy and funny.
It is. I will give you that.
Because it's a good time. Yeah. That's why. But one of the biggest things on my list was what did I enjoy the most?
Yeah.
I enjoyed part 5 so much.
It is insane.
Every scene, Tommy Jarvis, for no reason, beats the fuck out of 2 people in this movie in 2 separate scenes. It's laughably like, what? What is happening? Like, when he throws the guy, he just like fireman carries, tosses him over onto the table and just starts feeding this guy in the face for absolutely no reason. The hillbillies that feel like they're out of a completely different movie.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on here?
It's
madness. It's madness. It's a line of cocaine. It is the cocaine line. It is, that's what I said. It might be the most 80s of the Friday the 13th movies. Yeah.
And the 3 hicks that you're talking about that just, like, why are you here?
They're there just to die.
What is the purpose of this?
Just to die. They have no other purpose. Yeah. And they're so cartoonishly over the top.
Yeah.
At one point, Tommy Jarvis starts doing karate. He beats the fuck out of the one hick in the parking lot. And he's like karateing his ass and like doing like, what is this? It's madness. Absolute madness.
I
John Shepard, I think that's the name of the actor who plays that Tommy Jarvis.
I feel like he's just so weak compared to, and if they had kept,
I'll give you that. He's not very interesting.
If they had kept that thread throughout the trilogy that he is in, then maybe it would have seemed a little bit, but we have the benefit of hindsight of knowing how they present him in the next movie, which is like a completely different character.
Yeah, they fixed the character in the next one. Yeah.
So I think, knowing how they also portray him in that way, it's just like, oh, you're so...
He's very bland.
You're
he's
very wet
milk.
lettuce.
Yeah, he's very milquetoast in that movie. Yeah, I agree with you. But he's got a couple ass-kicking scenes, and I like that. He hardly even kills Jason.
Yeah.
It was mostly
He just has visions. And visions don't really do anything. Like, I don't care.
The thing I hate about this movie the most is the stupid fucking hint ending of the setup ending where Tommy Jarvis now has the Roy Burns mask and he comes up behind the girl and he's like, "Arr!" And then it cuts. And it's the same bullshit tease they did in part 4 where it shows Corey Feldman's face and he's like, and my thing is like, why do horror movies have this logic where it's like, oh, if you kill a killer, now you're a killer?
Right.
Because they did the same fucking tease in Halloween 4 with Jamie Lynn, where at the very end, doesn't she actually murder the like stepsister or stepmother or something? You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, at the end of part 4, they're like, oh my God, Jamie Lynn's going to be the new Michael Myers. But then in part 5, they're just like, nah.
Yep.
That was a dream. It's like, why do they keep trying that? It's like, we need a new killer. So it's like, whoever killed the killer is obviously going to be the next killer.
Right.
Like, fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, credit on them for trying to keep the franchise. I don't think they fully appreciated just how central Jason Voorhees was to the franchise that they had. They tried something a little different. It blew up poorly. And then they, to their credit, went right back to it.
Yep.
But
they came back hot.
maybe not as hot as you think. Oh,
we're going to have a conversation about this.
Yeah. So I don't have anything terrible to say about
part 5.
The New Beginning. It is what it is, right? The idea that it wasn't Jason the whole time, I think the production company thought that was going to land much better than it did. And I feel like most people watching that were probably just disappointed rather than pleasantly surprised. They're like, oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
kind of a wet fart.
Yeah.
I know
so
the
good.
ending. It's just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But I think people have come around to it now, though. Like Halloween 3, I think part 5 there's been a lot of talk about part 5 lately. It has some of the best kills in the whole franchise.
So what number did you have that as?
I had a 4.
At 4. Okay. I was at
high.
7.
It's in my top.
Yeah.
It's in my top. Yeah.
Okay. So then what was
I got nothing left to say about part 4 or part 5. Love it. Love part 5.